Atomic Habits by James Clear seeks to break down the way that we develop routine behaviors in order to use these mechanisms to our benefit. Clear asserts that in habit forming, the first mistake many make is to reach for large goals, instead arguing that we ought to forget our goals and focus on incremental progress, improving 1% every day. Our group thought this was a vital piece of advice that tied into topics within this class very well. While it's hard to pay off debt or save for retirement, any amount of contribution helps, and starting sooner rather than later helps time work for you, especially with consistency. Both habits and savings benefit from compounding. However, we felt that his disregard for goals was a little narrow-minded, as larger goals, such as the relief of being debt-free or retiring comfortably, or even taking a small vacation, can be huge motivators and a great impetus in forming good habits. Clear also writes about the significance of the environment we're in and how changing your environment is more effective for developing good habits than testing your willpower. For example, if you tend to buy coffee on your route to work, changing your route can be a more effective way to break the habit than relying on your ability to resist the cue and craving for coffee. These small differences can change what you could potentially allocate your money towards. For example, allocating the cost of coffee towards savings instead. If this is done every time you would have purchased coffee, these small amounts can go a long way. This is a huge connection to the topics covered in class, especially in the savings department. Setting up an automatic savings deposit to your IRA can keep you honest and prevent you from starting a bad habit of delaying retirement savings. Furthermore, maxing out your employer's contribution to your 401k can create an environment where you feel more positive about saving, allowing the ball to get rolling in other areas. Clear also introduces the idea of habit tracking and keeping a streak of habits running. This is a crucial financial discipline to have in areas like managing credit. By applying a habit tracking system, you can make a habit of paying off credit cards fully and on time to gradually raise your credit score, among other things. Getting good habits started through changing your environment leads to another strategy Clear writes about called implementation intention. This strategy involves pairing a desired habit with a specific time and location. In doing so, the likelihood that one loses motivation to do a particular action decreases. This strategy can be applied to a number of topics within the class, from paying off debt, staying on top of bills, or putting money into a retirement account. Making these behaviors become primed with a specific time or location, such as a desk in your house at 8 a.m. on a Saturday, Clear argues that it can be easier to develop and reinforce the habit. Most importantly, the idea of paying now and enjoying later has a massive focus in the book, as it does in our class and in our lives. Fundamentally, Clear asserts that habit forming is difficult because we look towards the goals, putting ourselves in hot water when our habits don't produce tangible results. In the book, Clear uses the example of going to the gym. If your goal is to get ripped, it can be difficult to maintain a gym routine, as it can take many months for this to happen. However, if you fall in love with the process itself and change your identity around it, and the habit and goal are both easier to realize. Setting specific days and times when you go to the gym can help you develop a habit of routinely going to the gym, and in doing so, you'll eventually get ripped. His philosophy here had huge parallels to the material in class, as paying off large amounts of debt or saving up for a new car, vacation, or retirement can feel insurmountable, but making small, consistent progress ultimately leads to success, especially if we begin to identify as responsible consumers and spenders and avoid environments that lead to making large payments with credit or other irresponsible spending. Some points to consider are that humans are habitual creatures, and that the habit loop, where you have a cue, craving, response, and reward, can be incredibly powerful in forming future habits, and understanding this allows you to take advantage of our biology and make progress in a way that you think is meaningful. Furthermore, habits can be both good and bad, because while you may get into the habit of doing something that you think is good, it might start becoming focused on numbers and just getting the habit done instead of always finding ways to improve. And people who become masters at doing things find ways to improve by constantly looking for how they can make the incremental progress within the habit, and how mastering one part of the habit allows you to continue forward and mastering other aspects of it as well.